Well, didn't see that coming. Hello, welcome to Just My Thoughts. I'm your host, Khaleel Ward. On this episode, I'll be talking about The Invisible Man, starring Elizabeth Moss, Aldous Hodge, and Storm Reed. The premise is quite simple. A woman, Moss's character, she is leaving her husband, who seems very abusive in the brief moment that we see him. And all of a sudden, a few weeks later, he's supposedly dead. It takes her a while to come to grips with it. She gets some money from his fortune. He's like a tech guy, and then some strange things starts happening to her, and she believes that his death was a hoax, and that he's still finding ways to torment her. And the movie does a good job of showing that. It does a good job of making it tense, and I think Moss's performance and the way the camera is set up, the way the movie is shot, I think it does a great job of keeping that suspensefulness, that tension that you expect. Sometimes the camera would pan, even though it's not exactly showing anyone. It'll pan to a certain area and then come back to the character that's on screen just to set up something. It can't do jump scares because the guy is invisible, so it's not typical jump scares. But even in the opening scene where we see her escaping, there's no talking. It's just her moving quietly through the house, and the house is massive. It's dark, and at one moment she's getting dressed, and the camera pans into like this dark hallway, like you expect something to come out of it, and then it just slowly pans back to her character, and it just you expect something to happen from that moment. It keeps you on edge. It gives you a little bit to like set you up for a jump scare, and it may not appear at that moment, but then like later on, it may something else may happen. And I thought Moss, like the way she would look at the camera, like suspecting something was there, even though we couldn't see anything, she couldn't see anything. But the way, like again, the camera would be facing something, and then she'd turn around quickly, and just her face looked like she saw something. She had that feeling. Overall, I enjoyed the way the story moved along. I thought the fact that she was scared when she first left, and it was abuse. But there was something else going on. I wish they would explore that a little bit more. She said at one point she mentions like she was hit, and then she says amongst other things, and I wish she would have dove into what those other things was, because this guy was really smart and brilliant, and he was into tech, and he could have been doing other stuff to her. And the pacing is good until it gets to about the middle of the movie. Then it drags a little bit because you're waiting. She knows what's going on, and you're waiting for the other people to figure it out too, and that takes a little bit longer than I wanted it to. It does feel like a 2 hour movie. um I really enjoyed the fact that her character was willing to fight. She, again, like I said, she was scared in the beginning when she first left. She's leaving an abusive situation. She's scared to go outside. She's thinking that he's going to be around every corner. And then once she gets settled in her life, and she notices things are going wrong, she doesn't just try to run and hide and say it's not happening. She's looking for a fight. She's grabbing the weapon. She's trying to find him and see what's going on. So that was good to see that she was strong enough in those situations to look to fight instead of just running to hide, especially when people didn't believe her and it looked like she was going crazy and she was out of her mind. Uh, Again, the movie does feel like 2 hours. I didn't really love the way it ended. The way they set things up. Towards the end. Uh, but other than that, it's an enjoyable movie, I would say. It was a cool experience in the theater. Just again, all the tense moments, and the way they had the Invisible Man, and we've seen the Invisible Man done before in a terrible way. It's called Hollow Man. But the way they did it in this one, it was pretty cool. It made sense, and I enjoyed that aspect of it. But overall, solid solid movie. I'll give it that. So If you've seen the movie, let me know what you think. Like, comment, subscribe. Deuces.